So let's look at temperature change first. The overall picture is that the further north you go, the warmer it's going to be getting. So we see in southern Canada temperature increases basically 4 to 5 degrees, maybe a little bit less as we get into British Columbia and towards the west coast. But further north, temperature increases of 7 to even 9 degrees as we go up into the high Arctic, an environment that would be completely unfamiliar to us. What's also rather interesting is that precipitation increases as well as you go north. The models predict a small increase in precipitation in the south, smallest in British Columbia, but other parts of settled Canada, 10 to 20% increase in precipitation, with vast increases as we go into the north, hitting 30, 40, 50%.
Profitable materials, and I use the word valuable very carefully because I want to make sure that we're extracting the metals, all the metals that we can from these wastes, not just the ones that are profitable. And that's going to be a really key policy issue where this is happening, because I think the temptation and certainly the commercial interest will be to go in, realize that, oh, there's some metal in there that they weren't interested in the 70s, but now it's important and it's valuable, so we're going to go in and reprocess and extract whatever that metal is, and nothing else. It will be set up for maximum profit, not for maximum safety. And that's basically the statement we're trying to make, is that safety has to come first. If it's not safe, it shouldn't be done.
Daily feeds of here's the roundup of all this news, and it was depressing news, coral reefs dying, all the things that so many of us are hyper aware of in this space. And so they asked at the bottom of one of the emails, what are we missing? And I responded and I said, I think you're missing the component of grief and what it's like to receive this news daily. And what are we supposed to do with it? How to move through the world with open hearts and, not shut down to these things. And then from there, other people just thought it was such a novel approach that we would be meeting collectively to talk about our griefs for the world.
If you thought EVs were the solution to a significant part of the CO2 problem, we can't produce enough. Nothing is going to happen instantly. I think you have to get the awareness going and fine-tune it, incentivize in a dynamic fashion. But I think you have to recognize that when you change prices, what you do causes prices to change. You have to protect two groups of people. One, the people who are going to be crushed by a change in prices, and two, the people who are going to lose their jobs because their industry is no longer.
Large industries pushing that we just need more technology. We need a different modified seed. We need another kind of pesticide that will deal with plants that are already, or pests, maybe insects too, that are already resistant to yesterday's chemicals. But don't worry, we have something that's more expensive, more elaborate, more persistent, more toxic, whatever, less studied, that we will use today. Whereas organic has gone in the opposite direction, and now with the science and the scale up, they're proving that they can do that. When you look at the crises that the tillage and so on has created, the changing climate, increasing desertification. Rather than looking back to make a comparison, if we look into the future to see the trajectories that these various types of agriculture are on, we're kind of at a crossroads. I think it's really, really important to be moving towards the more nature-based solutions. Our biodiversity crises, our soil crises, our climate crises require us to be moving towards a lot more no-till.